On support staff in the School of Education at UNC, and a lot of people in my building have lost jobs in the last few years, and there's a lot of restructuring and trying to figure out how to do our job, as a institution that prepares teachers for the state with the resources we have. And one thing I can tell you is our faculty are buckling. They are doing everything they can. They're exhausted. They're worn out. And the situations that are evolving as they try to figure out how do we restructure to do our jobs with the resources we have. No one wants to say it, but it's really hard to imagine they will continue to be able to do the good job they want to do. And then I'm going to tie these two things together and try to do it quickly. We had a staff meeting earlier in the year with support staff, and the dean came, and essentially he said, I hope that the bleeding of jobs out of this building will stop, because we're going to start getting the benefits of tuition raises. Essentially, we're going to be able to offset cuts with tuition raises. What I sit here and see is, well, we've got people, holding on to jobs, and the way I keep my job is for tuition to go up so much that people can't afford to keep going to college. And that does not seem like something that makes sense for the state of North Carolina, that we're pitting workers against students. And when you talk to students and you find out how much debt they incur to get an education in our state, and I cannot imagine that a lot of people are going to be able to continue doing this, as tuition is obviously going to go up and up and up, and it's not going to stop.
I had a meeting with the chancellor about 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, and he voiced similar concerns. He said that most of my folks haven't had a raise in 4 years. Cuts have actually reduced staffing levels. He was talking about tuition as one thing they'd like to do if they could keep the money on the campus and not have it be supplanted by having the legislature take away other money. And he says, sooner or later you all need to do something. I need more money. And I asked the same question time and time again. Where does it come from? The average person in the state of North Carolina, I should say the majority, have not had a raise over the last 3 or 4 years. Thousands of them are out of work. A lot of businesses are just, 1 or 2 tax bills or regulatory requirements from shutting down, which creates more unemployment, which gives me less money to provide to very worthwhile endeavors like the schools. So it's
so many people that have been taken out of the work market and been public workers. And so it just seems there's something strange about that.
It's if you take a look at the employment numbers, there's pretty significant private sector contribution to the unemployment. And my point being, I don't know where the money comes from. And I will tell you, in the university system, I still have to ask the same question. And I will ask the question tomorrow when I meet with some of the university system officials tomorrow afternoon. Why do we have 17 institutions with 17 different financial platforms, 17 different HR platforms, virtually no shared services functions, things that could potentially produce tens of millions of dollars that on a sustainable basis that could be used to fund education or to fund salaries and fund other worthwhile investments. And I would just point to Mr. Bowles, Erskine Bowles, and the research that they've done to say, let's go back and take a look at some of those recommendations and find ways to drive the cost out.